He walked in like any other customer, hoodie, jeans, sneakers, slightly worn but clean, confidence calm and unshaken. Jamal didn't look like the typical clientele of Maison Delacroix, one of the most elite restaurants in the city, known for its overpriced steaks and snooty stuff. But that was the point. He wasn't here to eat. Not yet. He was here to watch. To see how the place operated before the papers went public. But as he stepped into the foyer, the moment was ruined by a sneer. "Sir, we don't allow takeout from the front. Delivery pickup is through the alley," said a sharply dressed waiter, eyeing Jamal from head to toe with the smirk of someone who thought they had life figured out. Jamal tilted his head slightly, not offended, amused. "I'm here for a table," he said. "Reservation under the name Winston." The waiter laughed a short, arrogant burst. "Winston," he repeated mockingly. "Right, look man, this place is reservation only. I don't think you're looking for us." Jamal stayed still. Calm. The hostess nearby didn't say a word. She just stared, frozen between discomfort and silent agreement. People nearby glanced over, already forming their judgments. Maybe he was lost. Maybe he didn't belong. That's what they all thought. That's what they always thought. But Jamal had learned to let people underestimate him. It was the easiest way to win. He stepped aside without another word and sat quietly in the corner of the lobby, pulling out his phone. The waiter strutted off, victorious in his imaginary power trip. Probably off to tell the kitchen staff about the guy who thought he could just walk in here. Jamal's phone buzzed, his lawyer confirming the closing. The building, the name, the brand, all his. Now ownership transferred. Contracts finalized. The restaurant didn't even know they'd been bought yet. This wasn't just a petty visit. Jamal had been watching Maison Delacroix for months, impressed by the food, but disgusted by the way they treated anyone who didn't look like old money. He'd seen the way they ignored customers who didn't fit the mold, and now he was the mold breaker. 10 minutes later, the general manager walked out, holding a clipboard, flipping through the day's schedule. "Excuse me," Jamal said calmly, standing up. "Are you in charge here?" The manager gave him a half smile. "Yes, but I'm a little busy right now. If you're waiting for someone, they can meet you outside." That was the moment. Jamal pulled the envelope from his backpack, handed it to the man, and said, "You're not busy anymore. As of this morning, I own this restaurant. You'll find the legal transfer papers, the announcement from the holding company, and the staff restructuring notice inside." The manager blinked like a man struck by invisible lightning. What?" Jamal smiled softly. "That's right. You report to me now. And the first thing we're changing, the way you treat people at the door." The hostess gasped. The waiter returned just in time to catch the manager reading the letter. "Is this a joke?" the waiter asked, scoffing. Jamal turned to him and said, "Do I look like I'm joking?" Silence filled the room. The smug look dropped off the waiter's face instantly, replaced with panic. A couple seated near the bar clapped. They'd overheard enough. The new owner had just made his grand entrance without ever raising his voice. The manager tried to recover. "Sir, I deeply apologize." Had we known, Jamal cut him off with grace. "That's the problem. You didn't know, and you didn't care. You judged, and now we're correcting that." A photographer from the holding firm entered, snapping photos of Jamal as part of the internal press release. Staff peeked from the kitchen. The hostess stepped forward, nervously. "Would you like your usual table, Mr. Winston?" Jamal smiled. "No, I'll be eating in the staff room today. I want to know how my people are treated behind the scenes." That was his style, ground-level leadership. The restaurant was no longer just a luxury spot for the wealthy. It was about to become the city's most respected and inclusive find space. Later that night, the story leaked online. A man walks into a restaurant, gets disrespected, then announces he owns the whole place. Social media exploded with the news. The waiter quietly resigned the next day, avoiding the cameras that now showed up daily to catch a glimpse of the man who changed the game. And Jamal, he kept showing up not to flex, but to lead. He interviewed every employee, heard their stories, improved wages, diversified the staff, and put an end to the toxic culture the restaurant was once known for. He turned judgment into justice. He turned a dirty look into a clean slate. And most of all, he walked in with quiet power and left owning everything.